Welcome to Infinity IAS Academy. My name is Sagar Sharma and we'll be discussing about the important national park which were in news recently. And this video is the continuation of the series which we started, where we'll be taking important topics about environment. And the national park that we'll be discussing today is the KEOLADEO National Park, which is located in the state of Rajasthan in the Bharatpur district. So this national park, it was in news recently because the African Boma approach, it was used in this national park in order to transport cheetahs or spotted deer and to relocate them to Mukundra Hill Tiger Reserve, which is around 450 kilometers from this national park. And these species were translocated to this tiger reserve because the prey base in the tiger reserve is decreasing. And the cheetahs, they are classified as least concern in the IUCN red list. And this national park, it is also a bird sanctuary and it hosts several important species of birds, especially in the winter season. And the most prominent bird species are the Siberian cranes. Now, there have been various designations which has been given to the national park. So, we'll be discussing about the designation one by one. The national park, it was built and maintained artificially in the year 1850. So, that was pre-independent time. And this national park was given the status of a bird sanctuary in the year 1956. And it was declared a protected sanctuary in the year 1971 and then later upgraded to the status of national park in the year 1982. And it was in the year 1985, that is this year, it was declared as a UNESCO World Heritage Site. And UNESCO declares a World Heritage Site by using some criteria which are predefined. So students, you need to remember those criteria. And it was also a duck hunting reserve for the Maharaja previously. And this national park was also declared a Ramsar wetland of international importance in the year 1981. And as I mentioned earlier, that this national park hosts prominent species of the birds, as it is a bird sanctuary also. So there are around 375 different bird species which are present in the bird sanctuary. Now, moving ahead further, we'll be taking other important aspects of the national park. So, the other important aspects of the national park that we'll be discussing are, see, these are the, I've used some pictorial representation to present the species which are present in the national park. So, you can have a look at these species. So, we'll be discussing about the important animal species and the types of plants and vegetations which are found in this national park. So, the important animal species are sambar, nilgai, spot-billed pelicans, bears, poachard. So, these are some prominent animal species. And the type of forest, as you can guess, that this national park is located in the state of Rajasthan. So, the type of forest which are found in this national park are tropical dry deciduous, and they are characterized by Acacia nilotica. And there are two important rivers which pass through this national park. The first is Gambhir River and the other is the Banganga River. Now, there is an important reservoir with the name of Ajan Dam, and it is an artificially built reservoir, and the water is supplied to that reservoir by the Gambhir River. And in spite of supplying the water, there is a problem of water scarcity which is quite persistent in the national park. So, in order to solve that problem, there was another dam with the name of Panchanana Dam which was constructed in the year 2004. But despite of solving the problem got aggravated. Now, moving ahead further, the other aspects that needs to be discussed, we'll be discussing about the Boma capturing technique. Now, what exactly is the technique? This technique is quite common in the African continent as it is used to capture the animals over there. Now, this technique, it is used to capture animal by constructing a funnel shaped enclosure so that the animals can move in that enclosure. And this technique is also popular because it doesn't hurt the animal species and it is a chemical free technique, as the animal species, they are not darted or they are not chemically sedated. So, this technique is quite popular. Now, in India also, this technique is not the first time that it is being used, as it has been used in the state of Madhya Pradesh. And the old technique, that is the African Boma technique, when it was used in the older time, it was used to capture wild elephants in order to train them for services. Now, the other national parks which are present in the state of Rajasthan are the Ranthambore National Park, the Mukundra Hill National Park, the Desert National Park, Sariska Tiger Reserve. There are some wildlife sanctuaries also which are present in the state of Rajasthan, and the important is the Tal Chappar Wildlife Sanctuary. The other is Ramgarh Wildlife Sanctuary and the Jaisaman Wildlife Sanctuary. Now, this sanctuary, that is the Ramgarh Wildlife Sanctuary, it was in news recently. So, students, please write down in the comment box why this wildlife sanctuary was in news. Now, moving ahead further, we will be taking the second national park of the day, that is the Dachigam National Park. It is located in the Kashmir Union Territory. Now, this national park is in news because the endangered hangul or the Kashmiri deer, it was sighted in the national park. And this national park, it is located on the east side of the Dal Lake, and the total area of this national park is around 141 square kilometers. Now, the other important aspects of this national park. Now, there is an important story behind the name, that is the Dachigam National Park. Now, this national park, the name, it is, the meaning of this name is 10 towns, and this name was given in order to honor those 10 communities which were displaced from this national park when this national park was being constructed, and it was prior to World War I when this event happened. Means it happened somewhere in the earlier 20th century. So this is the Kashmiri stag or hangul. So please have a look at this species. Now, this national park, it was founded so that safe drinking water supply could be ensured to the city of Srinagar, and it has been a protected site since the year 1910, that is 1910, that is since pre-independence era. And the stag, that is the Kashmir stag, it is a famous resident of this national park, and this national park is also open throughout the year. So we'll be discussing about the geographical features of this national park. Now, this national park, it lies in the western Himalayas, and the important range, that is the Zabarwan range, it is the home of this national park, and the important plant species and the tree species that are present in this national park are apple, apricot, walnut, birch, and the willow, oak. Now, willow is also important, as remember this, this willow is used for making bats, that is the cricket bats. So the other aspects of this national park are, now this national park is also home to scrub vegetation, and there are deep gorges with the name Nars which are present in this national park. So you need to remember this name, the Nars, that is the name given to deep gorges which are present in this national park. Now, there is an important lake which is present in this national park, and the river Dagwan, it originates from this lake. Now, this river, it runs through the national park, and there is important fish species, the name is trout. It is quite found in this river. Now, the other national park which are present here are the Dachigam National Park, the Salim Ali National Park, Kazinag National Park, Kishtwar High Altitude National Park, and the Hemis National Park. So students, that was all from our side. For more videos and updates, subscribe to our channel, that is Infinity IAS Academy, for more regular updates. Thank you.